Emma stood beneath the warm cascade of the shower, letting the water wash over her shoulders and down her back, rinsing away the intimate moments she and James had just shared. Steam clouded the glass, creating a cocoon that felt both safe and stifling. It had been 2 months since she'd brought their daughter into the world, 8 weeks of sleepless nights, decoding cries, feeding schedules, and diaper changes that blurred day into night. And through it all, her body was a constant reminder of what it had endured. The muscles that tugged when she bent to pick up the baby. The tenderness in her breasts. The unfamiliar softness of her abdomen, altered by the miracle it had nurtured. She felt James's hand slide around her waist, his touch familiar and newly complicated. Where once his caresses stirred only desire, now they brought questions she couldn't silence. Did he see the extra weight? The stretch marks that told her story? The body holding 10 extra pounds, like a souvenir from pregnancy? I miss your body, he murmured against her wet hair, fingers tracing her hip. You used to look so good in those sexy outfits before. The words hit like stones in still water, rippling through her. Emma's breath caught, her muscles tensed. The protective steam now felt suffocating. She didn't respond. Silence filled the space more effectively than words. Mechanically, she rinsed her hair, turned off the tap, and stepped onto the bath mat. She wrapped a towel tight around herself and mumbled something about checking on the baby, leaving James alone in the bathroom. Their daughter slept peacefully in her crib, her tiny chest rising and falling. Emma stood watching her, one hand resting on the softness of her middle, the space that had made room for this perfect little life. Proof of what her body had done. That evening, while James watched TV, Emma sat beside him on the couch, a cautious distance between them. What you said in the shower, she began, voice low. About missing my body. That really hurt me. She explained how self-conscious she already felt. How returning to exercise was slow and painful. How each small effort to regain strength was a personal triumph. James looked at her, his expression unreadable. He shrugged. It's true though, he said, eyes returning to the screen. I do miss how you looked before. The tears came the next day. Emma sat in her car outside the gym, having pushed through a gentle workout that left her both proud and painfully aware of how far she still had to go. The air conditioning cooled her sweat, but not the hot tears tracking down her cheeks. She thought of James at home, snacking on chips from his desk drawer. His life barely disrupted by parenthood. He hadn't set foot in a gym in years. Yet he felt entitled to critique the body that had carried their child and still nourished their daughter. In the days that followed, Emma began pulling away from his touch. Not as punishment, but as protection. How could she surrender to someone whose words still echoed in her mind, measuring her now self against a before self? You're weaponizing sex, he accused one night when she turned away in bed. Just because I was honest about how I feel. She lay silent, listening to the soft static from the baby monitor. She wasn't withholding affection to make a point, she was struggling to feel worthy of receiving it. The distance wasn't strategy, it was a symptom of something broken between them, his failure to see that her body's changes reflected not loss, but triumph. Long after his breathing slowed into sleep, she stared at the ceiling, one hand on the softness of her belly, wondering if she was wrong to expect more understanding from the person who had witnessed her transformation so intimately. Was she overreacting to careless words? Or was she justified in needing space to reclaim her self-worth? The body James missed had never carried a child, never healed from birth. The woman she was now, softer in places, stronger in others, was someone new, someone worthy of tenderness, not comparison. As dawn broke, gentle light spread across the room. Emma made a quiet promise to herself. She would continue rebuilding her strength, not to chase a past version of herself, but to honor this new one. The one who had done the most incredible thing of her life. And she would find a way to help James understand, loving her now meant loving all the changes her journey had required. Whether he could learn that remained to be seen. But Emma knew, watching the light stretch across the ceiling, that she deserved someone who could see beauty in both who she was and who she was becoming. What would you do in Emma's place? Has a partner ever made you feel insecure after a major life change? Is she right to need space, or should she be more understanding? Share your thoughts in the comments below.